Hey, you wanna get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rogin Kim.
California dreaming.
Hello, and welcome to the Rogin Kimcast. It's me, Rogin Kim. Thanks for joining me. It is Sunday, March 24th, year 2019. It's 9:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Time stamped. Boom. Now you know where we are in history. This is it. In history, we are at a monumental or a momentous occasion. The Mueller report, of course, is the biggest thing on the news. Sort of, at least it's been dominating the news cycle for the past 2 years, and now it's come to an anti-climax. That's what I call it, right? Anti-climax. It's like, I don't know if you've actually ever had an anti-climax. Surely you've climaxed. At least if you're a dude. Apparently if you're a woman, only 60%. Actually, no, 40%. So 60% of women actually report that they have trouble having an orgasm, or either they don't have them or have trouble having them. That's like 60%. So 40% of them are okay, but that's really sad. It's sad. I wish women could have a much higher orgasm rate. I don't know. Would that change things? Maybe things would be better. I don't know. That's what. How could it be worse? How could it possibly work? If we up the numbers from 40, let's get it up to at least 60. It's 80%. 80% of women coming regularly. We can do that. We have goddamn phones. We have little tiny GPSs. They've got gyroscopes in them. We got lasers. Come on. We're in the future right now. And we got nothing. We got nothing to offer the women. It's like, I can't rest until at least 50% of women are coming regularly. That's not fair. That's not fair. All right. You know what? I'll donate to the cause or something. I don't know what I'll put boots on the ground. You understand? Like, I'll do what I need to do. I support the women's rights. Everyone's rights. I support everyone's rights. Except, I guess, pedophiles, like I could, no, they should, I guess they should have rights too. I mean, I don't want them to, and they shouldn't, but they should. You can't just have rights for some people, right? I mean, the whole point of rights is that everybody's supposed to have them. Yeah, universal rights. Is that something we believe in, right? Or are rights kind of like, like some people get them, some people don't? Is that what we're doing now? Is that okay? Are we okay with that? I mean, that is the norm. I mean, if we think of a global society, then we can't possibly have universal human rights. Not everybody's like the people who make our devices. There he goes again, right? Oh, there he goes again. Rogin's going to talk about the goddamn fucking phone manufacturing again. Okay. I know. I sound like a fucking vegan going on about factory farming. I get it. I'm just saying, we go through life just knowing these things in the back of our minds, and we're okay with it. We're going through it. Okay? We're going through it. But, we can't, stop for 1 second and just be like, this is unacceptable. More women need to have orgasms. We can't stop that. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Maybe I've harped on it too. Maybe people aren't feeling me on this. I don't understand why. Am I the only one? I can't be the only one here. Why is this not being talked about constantly? Why has the Mueller report been talked about for 2 years and nothing about increasing the rate of orgasms in women? Porn is $1 billion. How many billions of dollars? It's like the biggest industry in the world. But only 40% of women are coming regularly? This is stupid. This is a goddamn travesty. This is more important than climate change. You understand? Yeah, I get it. Climate change, we're all going to die. It's coming for us. We're all going to drown. Something's going to happen. Bake in the sun, drown and bake. The seas will boil. That's what's going to happen. The sea's going to boil and come, wash over us, and we'll be scalded alive by boiling hot seawater. Okay? That's going to happen. But you know what? It's not going to fucking matter at all because only 40% of women are coming. Like, we failed humanity. We failed it. What's the point of having a Hubble telescope looking through the cosmos when we can't look and see amongst our own women folk? Less than half of them are coming regularly. Do you know what would happen if only 40% of men could come? We would have nuclear war. We would be dead. We'd be dead. I may have harped on this before. There may be a previous podcast where I've gone through this exact same rant, which only proves my consistency and my just the firmness of my belief. Okay. So anyway, Mueller report dropped. Nothing's really come of it. No further indictments are going to come out of it. There's a lot of back and forth. All right. For me, I don't really care. I mean, I care, sure, future of our country, but I don't really care. I don't watch the news. I try not to avoid mainstream news too much. I read headlines and I do my own investigative reading. I read journalists that I like and stuff, and I try to keep abreast of things. But I don't watch cable news, because it's just like bombard, dun dun dun. It's on, and there. Dude, if you go and find this super deluxe clip, I heard this clip on Dave Smith's podcast, but it's like a super deluxe clip of the times they say bombshell. Bombshell, okay? They say the word bombshell over and over regarding the Mueller case. And this is, okay, maybe I'm just going to play this clip because it just illustrates the point of how ridiculous the coverage has been.
Donald Trump's done. He's done. There's no question about that. He's done.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Today is a turning point. Today was historically bad for President Trump.
Today was a turning point.
A turning point.
We're at a turning point here.
The beginning of the end for the Trump presidency.
The beginning of the end.
And breaking news.
We have another bombshell.
Mike Pence might have to assume the office of the presidency.
The call for impeachment.
Rumblings of the word impeachment.
Breaking news.
Another bombshell out of the White House.
I believe this is the beginning of the end.
I do too.
It's really the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
He may be feeling the walls closing in on him.
All the walls closing in on him.
The walls closing in on him.
See, it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, so you got all this crazy fucking hyperbole or the sameness, right? The same phrases, walls closing in, bombshell, bombshell, walls closing in, right? This is it. Nothing's come of it. Nothing. I mean, I guess it took taxpayer money, but they jacked Paul Manafort for his money, so kind of evened out. So great. But what the fuck, right? What the fuck? And here's the thing. I was at work, and I was talking about the Mueller report, and I'm just like, well, it doesn't seem like anything's going to come of it. And, the guy I worked with was like, well, no, it's definitely going to show that he's guilty because he's definitely guilty. And he was like, he's definitely guilty. And then I was like, all right, so the report's going to show that he's definitely guilty. And he was like, yeah, because there's no way he's not. And then I asked him, well, what if it doesn't show that he's guilty? And then he was like, well, then obviously the attorney general is like fucking with it. And so it just only proves, if he comes out and says he's not guilty, then it's definitely proof that he's guilty. So then either way, he's guilty. Either the thing's going to say he's guilty, or if it doesn't say he's guilty, then it's proof that somebody's covering up for his guilt. That just really, and that's what people believe, of course. And maybe you may believe that. But why? Why do you believe that? That's what I want to know. And I think, most people feel like, oh, I've come to these conclusions on my own. But if you listen to the clip I just played, it's hypnotic. You know what I mean? Maybe the entire public has been sort of hypnotized into believing these allegations. These allegations that can be traced back to the Democrats themselves. I don't want to get into this too much. There's plenty of other shit out there that uncovers all this. You can read about it yourself. You can read both sides. You can come to your own conclusions about, the whole shit isn't out. So maybe, he did collude with the Russians. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think if you want Trump out of office, you got to fucking beat him. Okay? You got to beat him in the polls. So good luck to you. You tried that last time and you ran the wrong candidate, and then you try to blame everybody, including the Russians, for losing. So hopefully you guys get your shit together. Okay? Run somebody who has a platform. Don't run on just nothing. Don't run on no Trump. That's dumb. Don't you understand? You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. It's yours, and it's yours to lose because the dude didn't even want to be president. You fucking lost to Donald Trump. How about that? How about you never just fucking just came out and just was like, I lost. It was okay. Yeah, we should have won. We could have ran Bernie. We should have ran Bernie. Wow. Well, it's too. And now it's 2020. Okay, maybe it's too late to run Bernie. I don't know, but not Beto. Okay, that's not Beto, man. Beto is a beta, man. Beto. You don't see that he lost to Ted Cruz. All right. None of this is new. I'm sure you've heard all these sentiments elsewhere. If you're an avid media consumer such as I listen to a lot of podcasts and whatnot. I don't watch cable news, but yeah, I do listen to a lot of podcasts. A lot more long form stuff. Perhaps I'm just parroting the stuff that I've heard. Perhaps I'm just parroting, like the different podcasts. I'm just saying Joe Rogan. Well, it's funny because I was talking to the guy who is totally convinced that Trump is guilty, of course, through his own independent analysis, and not because he's influenced at all by the media and the political sort of juggernaut that's been pumping out disinformation for the past few years. And of course, when he calls the other side, as he calls them, deplorables, he's not using any phrasing at all that's indicative of some establishment. He came up with that phrase himself. He came up with deplorable. It's a strong term. It's a strong term. Might kind of rub people the wrong way, but that's what he called them. And I don't support that. Deplorable. I don't even know what that's so high and mighty. You know what I mean? It's so snooty and fucking like you're so much better than all these people. You're not better than all these people. Nobody's better than anybody. Okay, except maybe Jesus. That's what we're trying to agree on. We're fighting over that. People can't agree on that. It could be Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, we don't know. Well, it could be the Jews think the Messiah is not here. So there's another dude coming, another player could enter the ring, and we don't fucking even know who that is. That it could be the best fucking human being of all. Okay? We're not so fucking great. Right? And these fucking politicians, journalists, especially the cable news ones, they're all headshots, man. Headshots. Like, they're just actors. They don't fucking... I don't understand this trust in the media. It's like, the media's been reporting this and that, and so it has to be true. But the media, even the same media that said that Donald Trump was going to lose until the very last moment, and they were like, how did we get this wrong? And then they're like, it's because of Russia. And now they're like, how did we get this wrong? Okay, fucking. And what about the fucking WMDs, huh? What about when the government's telling us that Iraq had WMDs, and let's go in there, get those guys, and then it was like, there's no WMDs. There's no. Where was the news? The news? Robert Mueller, by the way, was one of the dudes, who was instrumental in convincing us, the public, the news, whatever, everybody, that they were WMDs. Okay, all these motherfuckers. All right, I don't know. Are they lying? Are they just dumb? Are they inept? Are they colluding with each other? Are they colluding with Russia? Are they just trying to get rich? Do they even care? Is it just power grab? Do they just do whatever the fucking, whoever the powers that be tell them to do? Like, is the president really the ruler, man? Do you think you don't think there's a giant military industrial complex, prison industrial complex, and the deep state apparatus? There's all that stuff going on. You think that just that one dude can just rule over all of it? I mean, obviously Trump is getting into fights with the deep state. I don't think he's fucking got everything under control. I'm not saying he's like the best guy in the world. I'm not saying any of that. See, that's the other thing. You start arguing, and I'm not even arguing with people when I just raise questions. I just say, hey, well, maybe is it possible that this whole thing was like a propaganda thing, like just to discredit the election, and my friend's like, no, and and he's like, the Russians, and then of course I have to bring up, well, what did the Russians do? The Russians opened up the DNC email vault, right? The fucking WikiLeaks thing, where we learned all about how the DNC fucked Bernie over, right? That was the thing. That's what we learned. We learned about how dirty they were. We learned about how they got CNN to give them the debate questions, so they cheated. We learned about all this stuff. We learned how they were just dirty, and then all that other Pizzagate stuff, whatever. But we learned how they were dirty. That's what they learned. All right, I'm still ranting about this. All right, my point is that it's hard for me to trust the people that kind of helped us go into the war, the Iraq War, way back in 2003. You know what I'm saying? Like 2003. Over 1 million people have died because of that. ISIS started because of that. And now we have a fucking 7-country drone war campaign going on. That's like, we have a forever war. We're at war with ideas now, with concepts. We're not even at war with countries. We're just we're out there trying to maintain the good, whatever that is, the good, which is just what? Hegemony, right? That's just that's the empire. If that's not an empire, I don't know what is, right? Just going around maintaining the goodness of you, goodness of us. And in some ways, I benefit. We all benefit. So, I don't know. I mean, if there was an option for me to go whole hog into the empire, maybe I might be like, yeah, it's great to be in the empire. fuck everyone else. Let's extract the wealth. Let's get them all. Let's just get it all. Why not? But no, that's not what it's about. It's about being human beings, right? The whole thing is about being human beings. And as a human being, what I'm trying to say is I'm tired of being manipulated, and I'm tired of having conversations with people who, it's not like they're dumb. They're not dumb, and I'm not saying they're manipulated, but I seem to have the same conversations with people, and they're so passionate and emphatic, and they believe this stuff to be true, but they're saying the exact same things that I see on the news. They're saying the exact same words, right? Just like that bombshell shit, walls closing in, the same things. But then they're so sure that they're independent thinkers, just like I'm sure I'm an independent thinker. We're all independent thinkers, right? But are we? Like, where are we getting all our information? We only have the sources that we have, unless you're a journalist, right? And I actually trust real journalists. I think they're real. I think they're Matt Taibbi. I think he's a real journalist. Glenn Greenwald, I guess he is one. I think he's one. I mean, look, I'm not an expert. I just know that there's a lot of fakery. There's a lot of bullshitting. There's a lot of bullshitting going on, There's like the news. It's like so fake, There's like a fakeness to it. That's why people crave alternative sources. That's why people start turning to Alex Jones and stuff. Alex Jones is giving people a dose of reality, not necessarily real reality, but what they perceive to be reality because of the fakeness that's presented as news. Okay, we're giving the politicians the way they speak. No wonder that's why Trump was elected, because he doesn't talk like them. Right? He talks like someone on TV. He doesn't talk like fucking like the politicians talk like this. And I regret to have had those words come out of my mouth, but now I know that it is. It's just like so fake. The fake talk. We don't need that. We got real problems, man. We don't need to be spending it fucking wondering whether or not the Russians fucking. The Russians? You think the Russians learn from us? You understand? You think the Russians can fucking. We don't need their help. Let's have some national pride, all right? We don't need the fucking Russians' help to destroy this country. We can do it on our own. We're the fucking best at destroying shit, all right? We destroyed Russia's economy, okay? We can destroy Russia like that. Russia's got nothing on us. Russia, you will have black people uprising, and what will happen to the white genocide? It's just like, it's whatever. Sure, they're probably out there, but you know what? There's also Chinese bots. There's fucking Nigerian bots, and we got USA bots out there too. Okay, we got fucking bots everywhere. There's bots everywhere. Okay, some bots are just fucking advertising bots, ad bots, political bots. They're everywhere because all they want is your money. They want your time and your money. They want to suck it dry until you're a husk, a broke, lifeless, just dried out husk, right? They stick you in the ground and then figure out who to charge you. Hopefully you had kids. They stick the kid with the bill, right? Another reason not to have kids. That's the reason I don't want an heir inheriting all my debt. Right? We don't need that. That's me doing you a favor, Junior. All right, I fucking ranted and raved about this Mueller thing. And obviously I didn't get anywhere. What did I come to any conclusion? The only conclusion I came to is just like I just can't. Maybe I'm gonna check out of politics for good. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna check out. Just don't. It just seems like it's such a fucking circle jerk. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Just a lot of fakery. All right, I saw this the movie The Inventor with I saw the movie The Inventor with Elizabeth Holmes, the CEO of that company Theranos, and it's about this bright young woman who had a dream, and that dream ended up costing a lot of people a lot of money and possibly some people their lives. It's unclear because she is the untold amount of human damage that she did just because of her dream. Her dream, she had this dream that she could, take blood tests, that they have these big labs to run blood tests and put that all into it like a box, like a tiny little box. Not only put that in a box, just to use a tiny bit of blood so you don't need to use so much blood. Use a tiny little bit of blood and put that tiny little bit of blood into a little box like the size of a printer and then have like 100 tests, 200 tests done. The thing is, now it's a great idea. It's a wonderful idea. Let people bring the cost down of these tests and why use so much blood and all of that. The only issue was that it was completely impossible. It was completely impossible because you can't shrink the shit to that size. You're using blood. You're using blood with the automation like a printer with blood. Have you ever used a printer? They jam. They spill stuff. Imagine that with blood and like blood filled with like AIDS and plague and shit. You know what I mean? Like just disease. Diseased blood and people waiting on test results for their own health and then getting wrong test results. At some point she was fucking, she actually went live with this shit. She actually convinced people to let her go live and she's fucking in Arizona in Walgreens and people are sending their blood in for tests and the fucking box doesn't work. So they're fucking just sending the blood to real labs, to other labs and then also trying to do tests on their own little box. It's this fucking shit show. She's just running around and she's just basically just going around bullshitting everybody. She's just so she's just like a weird, she's like kind of attractive, but she's got these weird buggy eyes, just hypnotic eyes, and she's got this weird deep voice that she kind of puts on that sounds like this, and it really sounds like she's pushing her voice down in the register, and what she believes that theranos can do is bring the power of your health, being in charge of it in the palm of your own hands, and it's like a really weird thing she does with her voice that's obviously put on. And so basically the whole time she's like, she had nothing. There's no box, there's no nothing. She's just going around telling people she's got it. She gets the money, she hires all these people, gets a building going. She has all this and then she just basically figures, I'm going to hire all these people to just work on it and it's going to happen just through sheer will, I guess. So she's just fucking, and I don't know, at the end of the day, I'm like, it's just this plucky young white girl who gets these old rich white men who are gullible as fuck, I guess. Either they wanted to bang her or they saw her as like, I don't know. So, my lady, Rami, she thought that the dudes all wanted to fuck her, and that was the whole operating principle, that their boners were kind of guiding them. They were just throwing her hundreds of millions of dollars just because, they wanted to fuck her. But I don't know. I mean, I could see that. And that's possible. Totally. Why not? I see that. But the other thing I see is that she represents, the next generation to them. And she's something that they're not seeing probably in their own families. You know what I'm saying? She's this like young go-getter. She's a fucking engineer. She has doctors in her background. She's like, she wants to revolutionize medicine. She wants to help people, but she also wants to get rich. She's using technology. And they're like, oh, we fucking love her. Why can't our piece of shit granddaughters do this? Why can't they fucking... Why can't they? They're like just Instagram whores. They're like just driving around asking for Teslas, trying to fucking shaming you for everything you've built, right? Like shaming you for all the wealth and power that you've given them and shaming you for being a white man, right? And here is this beautiful, this lily white, just angel who wants to help people. All she wants to do is help people. you know, and she works hard. She's not like these fucking dumb, lazy bitches that I have for granddaughter. She's working hard. And I could totally see that happening too, you know, and they're just like, I want to give her the money. I want to give her the money, you know? And it's not clear in the documentary. It's just, that's the one thing about the documentary I was like, is it supposed to make a decision or help us say one way or the other? Like, it's really hard to tell if she's like swindling. Is she a swindler? Are you swindling? You swindling, Elizabeth? I mean, does she know? It kind of does seem like she believed in it. It's hard to tell what's worse. Is it worse to knowingly swindle people, or is it worse to just buy into your own bullshit to the point where you're like full steam ahead, right? Like you would pass a lie detector test. You don't know you're lying. Like, what's worse? Like, I don't know. I guess as a potential swindler myself, I think that it's not, should never fall for the con, even yourself. No, you know what I'm saying? She fucking fell for it. She fell for her own con, and that's, I guess that's hubris. I don't know. Maybe that's, for me, I don't take myself seriously enough so that I'm like, really, come on, man, you're fucking bullshitting. You don't have anything. I mean, dude, she's busy all day. She was working 16-hour days, busy. But what the fuck was she doing? There's no product. She was just checking she was just making sure everybody was like working and like, did you have anything? You got anything? You got anything? Just all day long calling every single person in her company. You got anything? And they're like, nah, no, we don't got nothing. And they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna call you back later. And then that's her whole day. And she's just like, I've been working so hard, burning the candle at both ends. But there's nothing there. I don't understand. There's nothing going on. She's maintaining the illusion that there's this company, this giant tech revolution in medicine, biotech, whatever, coming, and she just does nothing. And now she's gonna maybe go to jail. I don't know. It's not even clear. I don't even think she's gonna go to jail. I don't even think she's gonna, all these lives, like people's lives, you know, just because she had this vision. I have a vision. I have a vision that people will be able to be in control of their health, but first I have to jeopardize their health in order to get this made and sold. Then it's just like, come on, it's a form of sociopathy. Okay, it doesn't matter if she knows if she's doing it or not. I think that's besides the point. She's willing to put people's lives on the line and lie. She's willing to lie about people's health results in order to push forward her vision, right? And sure, the vision is good, quote unquote, but that's what everybody says about their vision. You know who else had a vision? Hitler had a vision. That's how you shut down arguments. Boom. That's how you fucking debate, bro. All right, let's see. Final words. Am I going to do it? Am I going to talk about us? I'll talk about us. I saw Us, man. I'm going to spoil it. Oh, spoiler alert. No, I'm not going to spoil it. Non-spoiler review of Us by Rogin Cam. Us was okay. Okay, thank you for listening. No, that was spoiler-free movie reviews. Roger Kim. All right, spoiler-free movie review. All right, it started out great. Okay, let's just be fair. I'm gonna be fair to the movie. We went into the IMAX City Walk. Started, and I was sucked in. I mean, I was at least like, I was curious. I was like, okay, where is this going? And it got to a certain point, and then the fucking projector broke. But then the sound kept going. So then I was like, and shit it was right when the family came, the shit was happening. You know, right when the shit was happening. So overall, I'm not ruining anything. You know that there's like this idea that there's a family, and then there's this doppelganger family. That was established in the preview and the ads. The doppelganger family's wearing red. They've got on fucking gloves, and they have one-handed gloves. No. Yes. One hand has a glove. They have golden shears. That's on the ads. All right. So I'm not ruining anything. But that family shows up. Suddenly a projector goes out. Fuck. Now we're listening to, it's like, is it what's happening? We don't know what's happening. And so we decided to exit the theater to not ruin the movie. And then they ended up rewinding the movie. Went back in, saw it. So already we're sort of knocked out of the train. You know, we were knocked off the train where it was the suspension of disbelief was popped, and now we had to kind of work our way back into it. So we did. So I'll give the movie that. But given that, you know, by the end of the movie, it basically makes no sense. The movie makes no sense, and the movie, like, I don't understand why does anything happen? Why does anything happen? Maybe that's the curse of going to film school and learning things like screenwriting or things like narrative and story. But I'm just curious as to, like, I would love to hear anybody else tell me why anything happened in that movie the way it did. And I guarantee you that people have their own interpretation, which is right, what art is supposed to be, right? But on the other hand, there's a form of bad writing that I feel is just kind of like called just so writing, you know, where it's like, why is that there like that? And it's just cause. Why did that happen? Just cause. Yeah, just cause. There's no justification. You're just like, yeah, just cause I wrote it on the page, and there you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, everybody has their own interpretation as to why. Like, so then I have to start filling in the blanks. Things don't make sense in the script, so I have to fill in the blanks. I have to start saying, like, well, maybe it's because, they were made by scientists or something. I don't know. Maybe there's aliens. Maybe aliens or maybe it's all a dream. I don't know. Maybe it's like, you know, half reality, not half. You understand? Like, you have to. It's the audience now has to fill in these blanks. And fuck that you're making me do the work. You're getting paid all the money. You give me a story. Give me a fucking story that makes sense. Put me into the story. Let me follow it through. Lupita was amazing. Okay? I'll give you that. Lupita was great. Her performance alone is what carried the movie. I mean, everybody else is great too. Okay? In terms of directing actors, I'd say Jordan Peele is great. I think it borders on great. I mean, I think he's got a while to go, just like any of us, because he is a young man, and one day he'll be a mature man and have a mature man's view directing actors, and I look forward to that. In terms of camera, I'm just like, it's like basic TV-ish, not super cinematic. I don't know, you know, whatever. It's all right. I don't remember a lot of shots. You know, the lighting's cool. You know, it's great. Black cast is awesome. The lighting is awesome because then you have to light all these fucking white people, you know, their shiny ass skin. They got black people, you can light them, you know, light them rich hues. You can fucking it'll absorb the. All right. Anyway, so anyway, spoiler-free review of Us. It was okay. It was it worth watching? Sure. Would I pay money to see it again? No. Would I pay money to see it first time? No, I wouldn't. But that's just me. All right, that was your movie review. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Rogin Kimcast. Please subscribe to my podcast. Please subscribe. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, go to YouTube. You can find me on YouTube as well. I'm trying to grow my numbers. Go to Instagram, go to Twitter, Rogin Kim. Go to YouTube, Rogin Kim. You can find me, or Rogin Kimcast, either of those. Put them in. Find me. Hit it. Like it. Subscribe it. Call to action. Do it. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm trying to get my numbers up. I need to get leverage so that fucking I sell out rooms and then I start fucking doing the road. All right? That's what I want to do, guys. And do the road. So, with your help, inshallah, perhaps, put my ass on there. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for money. I mean, if you want to send me money, no, I'm not asking for money. I don't know. I'm asking for your time, which you've already given me, so thank you, and I'm asking for you to have a good day. Thank you.